What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven here with your afternoon snap, and today we just got the new developer update for the March 2025 season of Marvel Snap. I'm rushing to do this before a tournament kicks off tonight, so I'm gonna watch through this. Hopefully I'm not in the way of anything. This is my first time taking a look at this new video, so let's see what we got. I do know what some of the cards are. I've seen some of the data mine stuff, but I'm not really super familiar with it. So we're going to get a lot of fresh takes here. Let me make sure this is coming through my headphones as well. All right, let's go. Cool. I always love the videos. Maybe I'll make myself a little tinier. That's Eson. Totally nerfed, by the way. I did data mined content for the first time and talked about Eson, and then they totally changed what he did.
We found it. The new season of Marvel Snap, Prehistoric Avengers.
I'm getting ready. I'm hovering. I'm going to pause when the new cards pop up. I think this is the season pass card, front and center, and it's going to bring... There's some new stuff coming, for sure.
The new season pass card.
Uh-huh.
Aggamotto.
That's right.
Very first Sorcerer Supreme. In Marvel Snap, Aggamotto adds 4 ancient into your deck.
So lore-wise, this is the first Doctor Strange, Wong, etc. in that line. Cool. I was like, first Sorcerer Supreme. No, we have a bunch of other... We already have Doctor Strange and Wong in the game. But this is a Prehistoric Avengers. We're going back in time here, and Aggamotto, I believe, started game. I might have just talked over Ben there. Start of game, he is going to shuffle in some spells to your starting deck. Let's see what those are. I might rewind.
Each capable of casting a powerful ability before they're banished from the board.
Right.
From afflicting and
so that is the banished zone that we've seen. You can see it currently in the client. Next to discarded cards and destroyed cards, there's also banished cards. And so all of these spells have different effects. I believe they also all have different costs. So we can't really see what's going on here. Interestingly, they are still going with on reveal templating. So you can stop them with Cosmo, double them up with Wong, probably. Yeah, I think so. Let's keep watching. So this is wins first.
And even duplicating a location's strongest card, these spells are sure to turn the tides for whoever holds them.
Okay, I'm just going to read these real quick. Afflict with -5 and move it right. So it's a little bit like an Aranya then. We have give Aggamotto +3 power. Put him into your hand if he's not in play. So if he's in your deck, Temporal Manipulation is also going to draw him. That's interesting. Transform your other cards here into copies of the highest power one. I feel like these have changed since we've last seen them. Maybe I just haven't been paying enough attention, like I said. Interesting, because I thought there was a double one, and that could kind of combo with the +3 power one. But now we've got a really interesting one in the form of images. All of your other cards here, it says transform. Yeah, it does say other. Okay, I was going to say, because they did make a change in the most recent OTA that now there is a difference between cards and characters. So this does say cards. It probably means your revealed cards, specifically your revealed characters. Transform them into copies of the highest power one, and we saw a bunch of sunspots get created, which is interesting. And there's probably some power to be had from that. Now, when we've seen transform in the past, like Cersei, that does repeat on reveal abilities. I don't know if we're going to get that with this. But famously, transform in Marvel Snap does repeat on reveal abilities. So something like transforming everything into a Black Panther would then double those Black Panthers. Say you got a 10 power Black Panther and then 2 smaller things, which is the curve on that would be tricky, but you would then get 2 20 power Black Panthers from those 2 smaller things. So that could be interesting synergy to play around. And then bolts, which is next turn you get +4 energy. That's going to give you the energy to cast all of these, which is important too.
That was easy.
Okay, nice move, nice move.
Not a bad feeling about this.
Always so silly. I love these.
Oh, that looks like the mark of another new card debuting this season.
Cool.
The Starbrand.
All right, so this one I was already pretty familiar with because I was lamenting it being released into the game that already Scar and Surtur are dominating. Now, not going to be as big of a deal. Still going to be a combo with those cards. Potentially even more so as a good play on... So, Scar now has an odd cost, and if you reduce it, it's a 7/12, I believe. And if you reduce Scar twice, it will be a 3/12. So, I think a pretty common, like, endgame plan is going to be some combo of Starbrand, Scar, Cosmo, and Armor on the final turn. And there's also some more synergy you could potentially play with this and the other one, the Typhoid Mary, and then Enchantress, both of them, right? So this is effectively a 3/4, which is not good, but I think it's actually more comparable to a 3/7. Because if you imagine that one of the two locations that this is giving 3 power to, you're just not going to contest, regardless. Then it's putting +3 power in a location where you will have to contest, but I think a 3/7 is still a pretty good rate, and it's a 3/7 that will discount your Scar and grow your Surtur. So, seems pretty good to me.
Amount of power to its host, along with a
Now,
shockwave of calamity.
I did not get the energy costs for those Aggamotto spells. I thought maybe we were going to go back to that. But, well, I mean, if we're being honest, it's a season pass card. The people that are going to buy it are going to buy it. I do see now that they don't have power associated on them, which is cool. You can see a spell. Are they called spells? Are we calling them spells? Whatever they are. You can see one here in the bottom corner, right where the mouse, right where the playhead is where the power indicator should be. And we don't see that. We do see that this one, which is probably Winds of Watum, costs 1, but it also kind of looks green on my screen. Let me see if I can back up and play this again.
And moving enemy cards to before they're banished from the board. From afflicting and moving.
No, we didn't get a cost on that one.
Power, and even duplicating a
okay, Winds cost 2. I just saw it in that previous screenshot. This screenshot, it's costing a little bit less because of Quinjet. Okay, that makes more sense. At 1, it seemed really good. At 2, still seems good to me. And playing it along Scream, all right, that's what they're going for. Yeah, I don't have too much other insight on this because the people that are going to get the Season Pass are going to get it, like I said. And speaking of Season Pass, I feel like now is a great time to bring this up. If you comment on any of my videos this weekend, I am doing a giveaway right now for the Sam Wilson Pass. Whatever this season was called. I don't even know what this season was called. You know what it is. And if you still have not bought a season pass for this season and you are subscribed to this channel, leave a comment on any of my videos. I'm going to be doing a drawing for that real soon. I'll give that out on Sunday, so that way you still have a little bit of time to play with it and complete the weekend missions. But basically, I got one for free from one of those community battles that I do. So, gotta give that away to one of my viewers here. Let me know. I mean, I'm just gonna roll for everyone and then I'll give it away on, like, try to contact people and talk to them on Discord or something, but I want to make sure I get that handed to someone. Let's skip ahead because we already saw Starbrand here.
Is a symbol that transfers a great amount of power to its host.
It's kind of hard to say exactly how good Aggamotto is going to be without seeing the cost of each of those spells. That's probably available on Discord or through data mines and stuff. But it's awkward that not all the information was presented. I don't even think they showed Agamotto's cost and power, did they? they did. Maybe I missed it. We're doing it live here.
Wow, that reminds me of another new card this season.
All right, what else? Firehair. So this was also changed. This was initially something that looked really good with like Phoenix Force. Now it says when one of your cards is destroyed, this uses that card's on reveal. So an interesting puzzle for sure, but it's a puzzle that has a really good matching piece with it. So I'll let you sit on it for a moment. But there's a few different, like, okay, I'm seeing destroyed, so maybe you want to play it just like in a destroy deck, and then it's like a Carnage or a Venom that can just kind of sit on the table. Like if you, it'll give you like extra X23 kills if you Venom and kill your Carnage. Then this will re-trigger in Carnage on its own location, which could potentially kill X23 or Wolverine again. So all of that is cool. However, I think the best use case for this card is going to be alongside Misery, which is a card that destroys your on-reveal card. So you destroy the demon, or you destroy the hood, you get another demon if this is in play. That seems insane. I mean, it's not insane, but it's good. This seems good. Specifically with Misery. I'm trying to think if there are other scenarios where you want to play this. Oh, you know what? So maybe I was thinking about Low Ball Destroy at first, X23 Wolverine. What if there's space for this alongside, like, not Phoenix Force, but like Nimrod decks, which are sometimes Phoenix Force decks. Like on the final turn, you're looking to like play multiple destroy cards. It just lets you have like a weirder curve. And I'm not sure if that's ever relevant because Nimrod doesn't have an on reveal. You got to think about what on reveal cards are you looking to destroy. And do you know what else could be pretty spicy? Killmonger with like Thanos stones to make a cheap death. You also reveal Uncle Ben, Spider-Man with that. And that could have some interesting synergy. It's pretty aggressively costed too at 2 energy. I think that this thing is I think this is going to do some nasty stuff. And really, I think this is going to be a fun build around card too. Alright, they're showing with Carnage and just like kind of basic bounce stuff. Master Mold's not, I mean, Master Mold is bad. Who are we kidding? Ooh, that's not bad. White Tiger is a card that you don't mind destroying. So what if you just go like a bunch of setup and then on the final turn, like, because White Tiger costs 5, and then turn 6 go Firehair plus Misery on your White Tiger location. That could be pretty powerful. Seems cool. You also, if you wind up, wait, it doesn't say you have to destroy the card. Like, if your Black Panther gets destroyed, Firehair is going to double in value. I don't think that's something that you build around, but it'll come up in an RSM deck, maybe. I wonder if there's space for on-reveal RSM. It having an even cost is pretty good, because you can play it on turn 2. Wonder if that would have to be RSM Thanos even, because then you get the Killmonger and all the stones back in there. Could be something to think about. The moon. Oh yeah, Konshu's coming. Okay, so this card I think does a lot of stuff. So it's a 6/5. When discarded, returns in the next phase. It levels up, and it currently has on reveal resurrect a card you discarded to another location with its power set to 5. Okay. That can be a benefit. You discard an Iron Man, then you Konshu it back, and it's over 10 power at the other location. That's very strong. Okay, let's see how this levels up. I think this is already good. Oh, you want to discard Konshu itself, which is a really interesting puzzle to play for. Level 2 Konshu is the card gets 8 power. Doesn't get 8 power. Power set to 8.
Twice to reach his full and final form.
And then the final form gives you a 12 power card. Oh, and it looks like the power is always the power of Konshu too. So power, Konshu has 5, and then it has 8, and then it has 12. So plus 3 and then +4.
And larger power.
Pretty good. Yeah, even on just a Hell Cow, it's 24 power on the final turn. It's worth playing for.
I stole the Aggamotto card and a few cold.
Okay, interesting to note here. When discarded, returns in its final phase. That's very important wording. That means that if you discard a Konshu in one of the first 2 phases, it will not resummon with Hela, because it is not discarded. It comes out of the discarded zone and back into your hand. I would love some way in game to understand that, especially for newer players. You're going to like see an image of Konshu and then you're going to try to click on it, or you're, like eating dinner and you're going to try to click on it and it's going to have gone away. And then you're not going to really know what the card does until it beats you on turn 6. So that's a little bit awkward.
Form, resurrecting another discarded card with larger and larger power. Jack, you're back!
Okay, we got this guy.
How did I get here?
I stole the Aggamotto card and a few cold people were killed and everything's collapsing. But you being placed here makes me feel like I just played the new Eson card.
Oh, here we go. New Eson card. End of turn. End of turn, which... that's new templating, right? Originally, Eson was going to get, and I don't know if it's Eson or Eson. I just said the same thing twice, didn't I? Eson, I believe that's an S. It looks like a Z, but I think I'm hearing Eson. End of turn, which I don't believe is text that anything has. Maybe we will see a Hydra Bob retemplate, but put a created card from your hand here. So what's a created card? It says from your hand. That doesn't mean, because it almost looks like Victoria hand wording, doesn't mean a card created in your hand. I believe this is an RSM card. I believe you put this card in your RSM deck, you can play it easily on turn 5, and then on the end of the turn, you will just get a random card that was generated from your hand into play, and then on the next turn, you will be able to do the same thing. It means you're going to have a lot of power in one location, which can be good, can be bad. It's going to open you up to Shang-Chi. This card is itself notably Shang-Chi-able. I think it kind of wants to be, for balance purposes, Shang-Chi-able, so that way there's just more ways to interact with it. It either needs to have 10 power and be Shang-Chi-able, or have like 2 power, maybe. And then it's only, I mean, maybe there would still be interesting things that it would be playable in, but it always puts the card in the same location as Eson. So that is interesting. Kind of means he's going to try to take over a location. You're going to get 2 cards there from Eson, which does leave room still to throw down a Cosmo or an Armor, if that's what you want to do. Feel like Shang-Chi is still a good card, even with the decline of Surtur, which kind of like was built with Shang-Chi in mind, even. It is a 10 power card. Is that relevant as far as like Scar decks and things? I mean, it's not irrelevant. One thing that I've seen people bring up is just trying to think of like some other interesting combinations, because my mind just jumps right to Arishem with this. I really like Nick Fury in Arishem anyways. I mean, I'm not playing it in a lot of my current lists because they've put out a lot of really strong 4-cost cards recently, but this with Nick Fury can still manage to be a combo. Thinking like, yeah, what if Nick Fury creates an Arnim Zola? But I believe there's only going to be one end of turn moment. I can't really speak to all of like the intricacies of how this would work out if you Arnim Zola this with its own ability, if this puts an Arnim Zola out. But yeah, notably, it's not creating cards. I think we're about to see that in a moment. It's just going to work well with Arishem, with Nick Fury, with the new White Queen, recently buffed.
Like Arishem, Eson is a powerful celestial.
Yeah, like Arishem.
The Prehistoric Avengers,
and this card likes Arishem.
In Marvel Snap.
Oh, it can bring out your spells. It can bring out your spells, which means you could use it on images to transform everything there into Esons. That's kind of crazy. They
There's
do have it
every
with
turn,
Scar
so
here, too.
try and play him as early as you can.
Yeah,
Damn
images
it,
is not going to do
Clark,
anything for you.
Night Queen, Nick Fury.
It was a weird
Hey,
clip to
Aggamotto.
include.
Thanks for inviting me on this work trip. But next season, do you think the locations can be a little less hazardous? Celestial Burial Ground, it's
Oh, 2 new locations. Okay. These are probably worth talking about. Some people will have to climb with these locations in mind. I just realized this came down a little bit. A green screen in the background here. Is that right? No! Oh my gosh. So this is... I'll show you what I'm talking about. This right here. I thought this was my green screen peeking out and exposing the wall behind my green screen. No. It's just like trying to look like a map. And that really threw me for a loop. Okay. 5 more minutes till the tournament starts. Let's see if we can wrap this up. Yeah, these might be interesting to people that are climbing, so let's look at them and see if there's anything that we can think about immediately. Celestial Burial Ground. Discard a card, replace it with one that costs the same. Oh, interesting. Huh. That... I mean, it just means it's good to play with discard cards, like get a free Proxima Midnight. Assumedly, like, replace it still keeps the card discarded. I think replace is just kind of like a flavor word here, but really what this means is add a card to your hand that costs the same. Yeah. But it says replace it, which, like, kind of opens up things like, okay, is this a transform effect? Is this going to... Is this new card still actually going to discount Mockingbird? I think it will. I think it basically is saying add a card here that costs 1 the same. So really the best way to play for this is just cards that care about being discarded. There's, I don't think, any other synergy that I can think of. And then maybe stuff that wants to exhume your discarded cards. Konshu, Ghost Rider, Hela, potentially. Starbrand Crater. What's Starbrand? Oh, okay. It's this prehistoric symbol. If you have 10 or more power here, +1 energy each turn. Oh, that's going to be good for Eson. Lets you play Eson a turn earlier even. When this is the featured location, I could see playing off on turns 1 and 2, like trying to get power there. If like the first location reveals and it's Nidavellir, you play into location 1 or 2 or 3 to try to start to get some early power in Starbrand Crater. You can get power to it, like say it's location number 3, and on turn 1 you played the dude Hydra Bob, and then turn 2 you play I got high or not high voltage Sanctum Showdown on the mind, but turn 2 you play a Maximus into that 3rd location. The location will reveal, and then you will have 10 or more power there, so you should get the bonus energy on turn 3 even. It's going to be a pretty minor thing to play for, but kind of a cute interaction for when it happens.
Sure to wreak havoc and be hotly contested.
Yeah, hotly contested, but also it's different. This is like an effect that we haven't really seen before, where you just get to satisfy the location, and then you don't have to be winning it. Your opponent can also have it too. So it's like, okay, yeah, you're both going to spend some resources there, but then you can chill out. And yeah, that kind of creates an interesting little sub-game. But I like the idea of getting to play Eson a turn earlier, either in RSM or for everyone. I think either way, that can be really strong. RSM's going to have a little bit more of a difficult time activating this, but I guess you just activate it by, like, turn 2 Sam Wilson, turn 4 Cole Obsidian. That just activates it, right? And then any other deck can play their Eson on turn 5.
Aren't those the new Alex Horley variants from the Prehistoric Avengers Season Pass?
Black Panther. And I was thinking about bringing up Odin earlier, too, with that Firehair thing.
Hi, I'm
They're
Alex
in a
Horley,
museum.
and it's time to take a break and enjoy some art. I've been a professional artist for over 30 years. I basically learned to read.
I'm going to skip this part. If you want to watch it, go watch it yourself. I'm running a little low on time here, so I'm just going to fast forward a little bit.
But I enjoy it.
And yeah, just make sure that I'm budgeting my time appropriately. But yeah, I typically watch this stuff and find this stuff interesting too.
and
but I'm not
checking
going to
out
have
my
too
art.
much to
And
add over
wait,
top of it
is that a
to make
boulder
this
coming at
transformative
you?
content. So let's jump ahead.
Let's go.
And, I mean, not that you have to have transformative content on an ad. I don't think Second Dinner is copy striking anyone. Wait. Now my green screen is off over here. You see how that looked just like where the map was messing with me there? All right, I think there's like a little sliver. Blarg. We could have been watching about the artist this whole time. All right.
And high voltage is coming back.
High voltage.
Ultra fast game mode with
I Freudian slipped there, but high voltage is back. Cool. Interesting. I wonder if they'll make any changes to like the income of it based off feedback from how people felt about other modes, or if they're just gonna let high voltage be the one where you don't have to pay to play and people just do their missions in it and give up. Like, people act like they like high voltage the most, but people just do their missions, and then as soon as they're done, at least that's how I engage with it, do your missions, and then once you've obtained everything that there is to obtain in the mode, you're done with it.
returns and tons of energy returns on March 21st. And you can unlock the first Ghost Rider card just by playing this super fun game mode.
Cool. Oh, the first Ghost Rider. Oh, there's a new card coming out called the first Ghost Rider. I thought that was just Ghost Rider, with like maybe a different art or something. I also just realized like half the time in these tournaments I've got to buy in the first round. So I probably don't have to rush. Okay, so I paused for a second because the tournament was starting. Turns out I've kind of got to buy in the first round because my opponent didn't show up. So we're back here. Don't remember what I was talking about. That's right, the first Ghost Rider. And we can also see that Bolts is a 3-cost and Images is a 4-cost spell. Okay, great. Let's... Oh, I'm not getting sound now. Shoot.
And you can unlock
Okay, great. I'm just going to rewind
fast
for a
game
second.
mode with 3 turns and tons of energy returns on March 21st. And you can unlock the first Ghost Rider card just by playing this super fun game mode.
And don't miss out on these awesome new Spotlight Caches album.
We're a little bit laggy right now because I loaded up Marvel Snap and some other stuff and was getting ready to record that. But this is a fine time to pause anyways because we've got the Spotlight Caches for this season. Let's take a look. Okay, one thing I notice immediately here is Scorn, Konshu, Corvus Glaive. Not that these are necessarily... Actually, Corvus Glaive Konshu is probably really, really good. Yeah. Wow. Corvus Glaive Konshu is awesome because it allows you to play Konshu on turn 5 if you want to, or have an extra energy to like play Scorn plus Konshu on the final turn. But it also allows you to discard Konshu plus another card. So that is really sweet. I'm not sure what this is because this doesn't look... I don't know. That's interesting. Don't love this emote. And then Starbrand coming along with Scar. Another amazing pairing. So that's really cool. And you know what? Nico plus Firehair can actually do some work as well. Because Nico's going to be a card that you play alongside the Hood. It can destroy your cards. So you can go like Nico... You go Firehair into Nico, destroy and draw 2 plus the Hood. That probably overdraws you because you have 2 demons plus 2 cards from Nico. So it's a little bit awkward. And then we also have this, which does not immediately seem to be a combo. Cheating out the Stormbringer with Eson is not good because it costs 0 anyways. But I will say, just like Wiccan being an awesome card, I believe this is Wiccan's first time in Spotlight Caches since its initial release, and putting it alongside Eson, which also seems like a cool card. Yeah, all of this seems fun to me. And is this it? These are the 4 cards that we're getting, plus we are getting the first Ghost Rider, which I did not see, like, brought up anywhere. I see that it's 5 power, so it's not Ghost Rider. What is it doing?
This game mode with 3 turns and tons of energy returns on March 21st. And you can unlock the first Ghost Rider card just by playing this super fun game mode.
And don't miss out.
Right. Huh. So it must be understated. It must be... So I think I remember hearing about this card, at least. So it discards something from your hand. It actually looks like it's destroying something from your hand, but let's say it's discarding something from your hand, and then it's getting minus power equal to the discarded card's power. And I believe that they just changed an interaction with Lasher, to make it clear that if you discard a Hobgoblin or a Green Goblin or the Hood, you are not then going to get bonus power on your Ghost Rider, which is what a lot of players were excited for, not realizing that, like, it would just be ridiculous and unfun to have, like, what is this? I imagine it's like a 3 or a 2 13 or something you would get from that. But
just by playing this.
So what turn did they play that? That's the only way that we would get a hint. They've got 2 energy left over. Oh wait, there's another one in their hand here?
Energy returns on March 21st, and you can unlock the first
Maybe we could see exactly what the stats are.
Card just by playing this super fun game mode.
Why does everybody have 2 of these? Sorry, this is wheels are falling off a little bit here at the end of this video. Okay, that's why, because this was a game with time theater, so they had 2 copies of it. And they're showing these 2 clips out of order, despite them both being from the same game. And I can't quite... Can I go, like, frame by frame here? Yeah, maybe. I thought the arrow keys could also be frame by frame. No, that's 5 seconds. Super fun game mode. It's a 2-5. Okay. I don't know why they're making us really hunt for the stats in this video. I will definitely be providing some feedback to the team for that, as somebody that likes to go into these videos blind and kind of react to the cards as we're seeing them. So, okay. Anyways, back to reality. It's a 2-5. Looks like it discards a card, and then it loses power equal to the power of the card discarded. One thing I'm not sure, does it always hit your lowest power card? Hit the Rock in that first clip, and then hit Lady Sif in this one where there's 2 cards tied for the lowest power. That I'm not sure of. That would seem to not have synergy with Konshu. Oh, yeah. No, it probably does discard your lowest power card, which is why people were thinking it was busted with Hobgoblin. And rightfully so, because that would have been, and like, to the point where clearly that is not what, they are not just printing a 213. So, yeah, no 213s to be had. Is there anything else? No, looks like that is the end of the video. Let's rank the cards coming out this season. Yeah. I can do that. And not talking about the season pass card or the first Ghost Rider. Let's just rank these 4. I feel like... Here's what I'm going to go for. Firehair, number 1. I think that it is a build-around card if you have Misery. If you don't have Misery, it's probably just a skip, unless Misery is like in a data mined Spotlight Cache coming up soon. Next, I've been playing a lot of discard recently. I don't think that Konshu goes into the current discard deck super easily. I've been playing Bullseye discard, but does it give you an interesting incentive to try out other versions of discard? I think so. I think this is another Scorn / Apocalypse. It's a card that benefits from being discarded. And I think a really powerful one. It winds up being your final play of the game, which is interesting because it winds up, you have to basically play it on the final turn. barring scenarios with Corvus Glaive. But I think that, yeah, just like playing this, getting 12 power in one location, and then getting a 12 power swarm in another location, and playing a few more swarms could be good enough for just like basic Apocalypse discard strategies. I think it's good. I think that Starbrand is next up. I think that the ability to play it on the final turn with Scar is still a good rate as a 3/7, and it's potentially even better than a 3/7. It's potentially a 3/9 if it's growing your Surtur. And importantly, their Surtur now no longer discounts your Scar if you play it on turn 3. So this is also good the other way. You play this on turn 3, and then on turns 4 and 5, you continue to play 10 power cards, and that gives you then a 1-cost Scar to play on the final turn. I think that is also really, really powerful. Eson, I think, is the worst card coming, the worst new card. If we are rating the returning cards, I mean, honestly, I'm a huge Wiccan fanboy. I'm not sure where Scar falls right now, but of these 12 cards currently on the screen, not counting Ultron and Black Panther, Wiccan, I think, is probably the one that I would target the most. I haven't been playing Wiccan recently because I've been doing some other stuff, but I still think that it's really fun and really good, even with -1 power. I think that Eson feels a little win more. It's kind of tough. It's kind of a weird build around. You play it in Arishem. Who are we kidding? You either play it in Arishem or you do some weird thing where you are like waving it out. I guess you're playing Luna Snow, and then you're playing Nick Fury, and then you're playing Eson on turn 5. It's a lot of hoops, and it really sets you up really big in one location. I think it could be a fun card. And an additional or an alternate curve here. I guess you could throw in Magic, and then you could use Hope Summers. You could go Hope into Nick Fury, into Eson, cheat out one of your cards from Nick Fury. It's going to be a little less, it's going to be a little bit more and a little bit less swingy. Like Arishem, you always get to play this card on turn 5. You always get 2 triggers from it. But downside of that is there's going to be a wider variety of created cards when you're playing Eson in Arishem. So you can miss even on the games where you hit. Whereas like if you're playing this alongside Nick Fury, it's always going to drag out a 6-cost card. So probably a little bit more powerful and more swingy in those games where, yeah, I think like just playing this in Arishem, it could just be like a solid card in Arishem. Does Arishem need a solid card that you play on turn 5? I don't feel like it really does. But I'm trying to think of scenarios where like it's awkward because if you're playing Eson, then like you are not getting value out of Galacta for a turn. But that might still be worth it to just like Eson on your Galacta location, and then you've won that location, and then you can try to use the value from Galacta with your play on turn 4 and turn 6 to win one of the other 2 locations. So I think that seems cool and strong regardless, but I think that Firehair is going to be the card that does the coolest things. And I'll be honest, I am biased. I've said this before. I see in Absorbing Man, I see a way to repeat your on-reveal abilities, and that's what I always think is the coolest card. Barring Joaquin Phoenix, or Joaquin Torres. Yeah, Joaquin Torres. Joaquin Phoenix is an actor, right? Barring Joaquin Torres, which I was not excited for. Now, of course, it's much better as a 2/2. Most ways to re-trigger your on-reveals are pretty strong. Don't think I've got too much else to say. We'll let the video wrap up here. Yeah, so a lot of emotes are like based off memes. Maybe this is based off of a meme. It's gotta be. I don't get it. Let me know in the comments if you know what meme this is, and also comment and subscribe if you want to be entered for a Sam Wilson season pass. It's not for this season. It's not for
Prehistoric Avengers season.
Prehistoric
Please
Avengers
see it
season.
like a wild
There we go. Thanks, Ben.
us.
It's
And
for
we'll
the
see you
Sam
next time.
Wilson season, whichever that one was called. Brave New World. Brave New World. I got there. Cool. This was bothering me trying to figure out what this was like a meme or reference to. So I asked on Discord and someone said the annoying kid from Polar Express, which I don't think is a meme. Maybe it's a meme, but it also just made me realize why I don't like this. It doesn't really look like Tom Hanks to me, but something about the Polar Express people are just like a little bit uncanny. I don't like the animation in Polar Express, so I also don't really like this emote. That's going to be it for me though today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.